I also realized I did not make a intro video for this video, so hello, welcome to another one of my videos. Today I'm going to be redoing my shelves. As you can see, these are the redo. But yeah, follow me along today in helping me organize, get my books together, and clean these bad boys up. Let's get into it. First plan of action, I'm going to take all of the books off this shelf. I'm going to make a pile of the ones I want to keep on this shelf, like my favorites. So I have a couple different shelves. I have 4 shelves. 3 are in my bedroom and 1 is in the office. This is the one in the office. This is like my show shelf. This is the one that I display like my favorites, the pretty color covers, like all of that sort of thing. So I'm gonna make a pile from here. There is some I want to keep on here, obviously, because these are my favorites. I'm gonna make a pile of the ones I want to keep in here and leave them in here, and then I wanted to take the rest of them and put them in the bedroom where they'll go on the other shelves. And the bottom of all my shelves is a TBR, and on this shelf is like my immediate TBR. These are like the books that are like top tier, like how people have TBR carts. Instead of a cart, I just have this shelf down here. Okay, I emptied all of the shelves, like even the bottom one you can't really see, but the bottom one's empty. I left that on there because I know this series and this like setup is going to stay on there. I like how it looks, and those are like some of my favorite books by one of my favorite authors who's a bestie of mine. So now I think I'm gonna take all the books I know I want to stay in here and put them on the shelves like how I think I am going to want them, and then kind of go from there. So this one's probably gonna take the longest. I'm not gonna film this part until I figure out kind of where I want what, but then I'll come back to you with like where I'm thinking. Okay, I've got pretty much how I want to set up. I think I'm gonna leave the bottom shelf to be immediate TBR still, because I feel like I don't have enough like God tier books where I'm like, I need this on the shelf because it's my favorite all-time book. I have obviously some of those, but I feel like I don't have as many as I like. Being said though, I'm still working my way through a very popular book series, so you'll see that at the top. But for now, this is what I'm kind of working with. I think I'm gonna do a fantasy shelf, a romance shelf, and then I'll like kind of go through it with you guys, but I have a little bit of an issue. I have a whole empty shelf, but I like how these 3 shelves look. So I'm not gonna move those. I might have to go find some more books to fill up this shelf, but I think for now I'm gonna leave it like this until I organize those shelves. And once I organize those shelves, I'll pull some more off to do this shelf. But for now, this is the shelf. So the top shelf, I have my K-Cove collection, and then I have a couple standalones, or like not series God tier ones. Like I've only read the first Magnolia Park, so I only have that one on here, but I loved it. Phantasma, there's only 1 book out. This is like a duology, this is a solo book, and then these are like some of my favorite Monica Murphy books. Moving on to the next shelf, this is my favorite God tier hockey romance series. The Twisted series just has a special place in my heart. And then Abby Jimenez is an auto buy. Next up, I have a little fantasy shelf, I would say, I have Divine Rivals because I absolutely love that one. Still need to read the second one. Obviously, Rebecca Yarros. Caravel is one of my favorite all-time YA series. And then Powerless, I really loved. And then on this shelf, I have Serpent in the Wings of Night. And the only other series I can think of putting here would potentially be Vampire Academy. I loved that series when I was younger, so I might throw that on here. I need to figure it out still. And then I have just my immediate TBR, books I want to get to like right away. Okay, these are two of my shelves. I have one more on the other side of my dresser. That's like my YA shelf. I'll probably still keep it my YA shelf, but I need to like revamp it up. And that's also like collecting books, like because I just walk in my room and like set them on there. But these two shelves, these are the two that I like film in front of, so I think I might try to do better. But also I have, this is a TBR shelf, the bottom shelf is a TBR shelf, this is a TBR shelf, and I have a TBR shelf on the other bookcase as well. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna take this TBR shelf and try to move it and fit it under there and just have all of the bottom ones as TBR rather than having two shelves of TBR here. And then I can have more room for more books. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my physical TBR, try to get them on the bottom of these shelves. I'm gonna leave them on there, they don't need to be pulled out. And then the rest of them is just all coming down, and I'm kind of gonna group them by genre, and then in genre like sports romance, fantasy romance, obviously YA will be together, my thrillers will all be together, that sort of thing. And I'm gonna start from there with how I want to do them. And then the ones I film in front of, I'm gonna try to make them prettier because I film in front of them all the time. So that's my plan. Let's see. It's the next day. The lighting is horrible and gloomy and gross today, so you love that. But I didn't get very far last night. I started at like 11 o'clock last night, like undoing all of my shelves, and then got way too tired, and I had an early morning of work this morning, so we're getting back into it. So far I have my thriller shelf up here. I'm hoping to read more thrillers this year, so the shelf is going to have to expand, but I try to keep like authors together and stuff, so that's why there's like random heights. But I wanted to keep authors together. That's like my main thing, is I want to keep authors together, even if the books don't look good. But I have that set up. These are all empty. I am moving, you can't see right now. I'm gonna move my Cassandra Clare shelf over here for like that universe. I think it'll fit in well with like some of the YA fantasies I have over here. And I did make my like Tracy Wolf shelf. This really won't be moving anywhere. I kind of like how it is structured, and that's a beautiful cover I always want to display, and this is all I have for her. So the rest of the shelves are empty, so right now I have books in piles. I'm gonna try to get all of the ones I think like on the shelves that I think they're gonna go on, and then I'll check back in with you guys. Wish me luck. What hurts is I love Elsie Silver and I love the series and these series, but my Chestnut Springs are like the old covers and the new covers because Amazon did their big one. I don't know. So I hate like displaying these because they don't all look the same, but I don't really have the money or like patience to go and get like matching sets of any of these, so I already have it, so why fix it? Also, before I joined like Book Talk, Bookstagram, the book community, I read these by T.L. Swan, and now she has like pretty discreet covers. I actually have of like her other series, like the Mr. series, and I wish I had them for these, but I don't. But I love T.L. Swan, so like I want to display these, but like the covers don't really do it, but she'll go down there anyways. Okay, gonna do a little tour up close. Top shelf is just some of my thrillers that I've really enjoyed over the years. Going underneath that is some contemporary romance, like a lot of contemporary romance. I feel like I don't gravitate towards those, and I don't like read those as much. And then underneath I have this like sort of empty shelf, but I put like authors that I love and I know personally, read all of their books. These are actually duplicates. Her like main books are on my other shelf. Underneath that I have sort of like sports romance, which most of my sports romance is on the other shelf as well. And then I have this like pretty book. I just love the cover so much, I had to stick it somewhere. And then these are kind of like my favorite like stalker, dark romance, serial killer romance type of books. And then this is like a murder mystery series that I really liked, that the Ranger character was actually based off of Spencer from Criminal Minds, which was my favorite. And then under here is just TBR, going under here TBR, and then going up from here we have, this is like ones that's gonna be in the background of my video, so I put like my favorite authors. I have Ellie Hazelwood, Elsie Silver. I stuck Lila Sage here as well. I've only read one book by her, but I absolutely loved it. Anna Huang, obviously, and then T.L. Swan, which I already talked to you guys about. This shelf, I might redo this shelf. I need to like redo it with the height of the books and everything, but at least I have the books that I want on here. On here is like my dark romance shelf, more like bully, dark, taboo, forbidden. That's the shelf. Up from here, this is all the fantasy romance, and then I have a few little sci-fis in here as well. The top shelf, this is just a YA fantasy shelf of like my favorites. Obviously some of my favorites are on the other shelf. I wanted to start my Cassandra Clare shelf, and then also some honorable mentions. This is my YA shelf, so on top I have just some of my favorite series of like all time YA wise, like Divergent, Hunger Games, Killing November duology. If you haven't read this and you like YA, read it. The Thousandth Floor trilogy, like YA, read it. If you like Gossip Girl YA, read this series, it's so good. And then just some other honorable mentions. Underneath I have my YA romance shelf. These are books I read when I was like very early on into reading. A couple of these I actually read more recently, but like these are like some of the books I had before I even started any YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Shelf under here, some more of my favorite series, authors. Vampire Academy is one of my favorites. Mary Lou, I went through a whole phase, read all of her books. I absolutely love them. Legend, the trilogy, was actually one of the few books that got me into reading. And then I have some honorable mentions of like sci-fi type books. And then this shelf you guys already saw, but it's just the Selection series that I really enjoyed, and then the Crave series, and then my other Tracy Wolf book, and then TBR. I just went through this whole thing and I realized my Lauren Asher is still sitting over on my nightstand, so I need to add that and show you guys. Okay, I added it to the shelf. It looks pretty. I'm happy with this. Okay, that's it for my shelves. Thank you guys so much for watching my video today. Very happy with how they turned out, and I feel like my space just feels so much more picked up, put together, clean. I still have a bunch of books lying around for TBR, but also some videos coming soon, and so that's over there. But once again, thank you guys so much for, if you're still here, being here, and I hope you enjoyed this type of video. I love redoing my shelves. I do them every couple months, but I used to do them every once a month. We might get back into that, but for now, I'm very happy, and thank you guys for joining me today. Yeah, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, rest of your week, and I'll see you again next time.